Coach, what can you tell us about your lineup? Are you set for tonight as far as Brassard is concerned?
Yeah, Brassard in, Gambrell out.
You're in a position right now, I'm not going to ask you who's starting a goal, but you're in a position obviously where you're comfortable with either one. And it probably really doesn't matter if one goes ahead of the other.
No, I'll say Talbot. Talbot will go tonight. Sorry, Talbot will go tonight. You know what? I think he's earned that right. He's played really, really well. You know, and not to say that Forsey hasn't. He played really well last game, and it's a good thing for us.
DJ, can I take you back to the game against the Rangers at Madison Square Garden? When they scored the second goal, prior to that goal, the Brinket tries to take the puck out of the zone, shoots it out of the zone. It ends up in the stands. The referee Lambert says it was deflected. There's not a penalty. But that face-off, shouldn't it have been outside your zone?
Yeah, well, we complained that, but yeah, we did complain that it was outside the zone where he shot it.
Yeah.
But in saying that,
he was inside the zone when he shot the puck. We saw that on the replay.
Okay.
But it was deflected by a Ranger player, and it went into the stands. So that face-off prior to the goal should have been outside the zone. Because it was very clear on the replay that the Brinket was inside the zone, and that it was deflected. And you see Lambert showing that the puck was deflected.
yeah, I mean, hey, they're the best in the world at what they do. Things happen real fast. People make mistakes all the time. Coaches make mistakes all the time. Players make mistakes all the time. So at the end of the day, you know, for us to go back, we won the game.
Yeah.
I'm not going to rehash, you know, what happened out there. Every team that loses feels they got wronged, you know, and I could go back every day. But at the end of the day, we got the result we wanted. Things are going to happen, and they happen quickly.
But my end question is, do you think that should be challenged? Do you think that should be allowed to be challenged?
I don't know. You're really, I mean, when it hurts you, yeah. But how slow are you going to slow the game down if you're challenging every single ticky-tack play? Are you going to be able to challenge a trip, you know, a minute prior to a goal? Are you going to be able? I think there has to be some human element to it. And yes, it hurts us in certain instances, but it helps us in others. I just don't know how slow you want to make the game if every single infraction and every single little thing that I'm able to challenge or they're able to challenge and bring it back. I think there has to be some flow to the game.
DJ, the last time you played LA, it seemed to be a bit of a turning point with Stützle to Giroux and OT. Or maybe I should ask you, was that a turning point for you guys at this latter half here of the season where we're at?
Well, I don't know about turning point, but I just think there's starting to be a lot more belief that we can win against, and anyone can win against anyone. It's just more consistently is what we're looking for. Challenge here tonight, LA Kings, real good team again. You know, everyone you're playing is legit. I mean, everyone's in the league's so tight, everyone's fighting for every point that if you're not 100% on and ready, you're not going to win. So for our group, there's certainly more belief, but you got to be ready when the puck drops tonight at 7 o'clock, or else that doesn't mean anything. So we want to build on this momentum. It's our father's trip. We got the fathers in. You know, it's a 3-game set with them. We want to make them feel a part of this, and we want to continue on real good push here till Christmas.
Just further to that, DJ, like when you look at the 4 or 5 you've gone on here, like do you sense, are you playing much different than you were previous, or is it just now like the bigger moments, things are falling your way than they did?
Well, I think the numbers are evening out for sure. There was plenty of games where we outchanced, outshot, outworked, in our opinion, teams and didn't get the results. And you lose the game, and you come in and you look at all the numbers and you look at the chances and you say, wow, we probably should have won that game, but you didn't, and no one cares. Whereas San Jose, we got outchanced, and people say, oh, you played great. Well, did we? We scored when we had to. We made opportunistic, our special teams. The game evens itself out, and I think it was time that we got some breaks. Like I said, no one feels sorry for you, but we got some bounces, and bounces are part of the game. And we just got to keep making sure that we're doing the right things every day, and eventually the odds go in your favor.
Father's trip, how much are you looking forward to that? How much excitement is there on that? After 3 years, probably the last time you had one?
Yeah, it's been a while. My father passed away now 8-9 years ago, sorry. And he's, it just makes you think back of how much your father or mother has done for you as a player, or for me as a coach, to get you to this point. And a lot of these fathers or mothers, next year would be the mother's trip, how much sacrifice they've given for these kids to get to this level, and how much they live it with them every day and watch the games. And, when they're struggling, or they're the ones that pick them up and give them a pat on the back. So it's great for the NHL and the league and all the teams now to recognize that, make them feel a part of it. They're on the plane. They eat the meals with us. This morning I let them come in the meeting with us, just to let them feel what it's like. So, now, some of them played in the NHL, but the ones who haven't and maybe didn't even play hockey, this might be the first time they've ever been in an NHL locker room and seen what it's like with their son, these meetings. So I think it means a lot. I think the players are always ready to play on these trips. I think they certainly want to perform for their dad or mom, and it's an exciting time.
On a more personal base, Erik Brannstrom, three first games, he's got 2 points. I don't know, he's got 1 point now in the last 21. How do you evaluate? I mean, this is a smaller defenseman that gets sometimes physically pushed away. How do you evaluate his game so far, and what does he need to do to get to Erik Brannstrom, the kid that he was targeted to be?
Well, I think he's playing much better defensively than he ever has, and that's what's allowing him to play every day. He's done a real good job on the penalty kill. He's doing a real good job breaking pucks out. I think points-wise, he's probably got to get more pucks to the net. You got to shoot more often. And you know what? Maybe he's been a little bit snake-bitten on some rush plays, and he's had some clean looks and haven't scored. But you got to give him credit with Sanderson running the one power play and Shabbat running the other one. He's found a groove in a way to stay in the lineup and stay in the NHL by killing penalties, by breaking pucks out, by blocking shots, and he has to continue to do all those things. And clearly he I'm sure would want more offense, and so would we. But I think that comes with getting more pucks to the net, and we've talked about that. How many can you get to the net? If you can get them to the net, they can get tipped.
Coach, tonight is Indigenous Peoples Appreciation Night here at Canadian Tire Center. How important is it to celebrate nights like that?
Well, I think it's imperative that what little that we can offer, years later for the Indigenous people, and recognize that all Canadians are equal and we're all in this thing together. And, like I said, it's not nearly enough, but it's everyone recognizing at least and coming to light as we all try and do this together. And again, I have to say, us Canadians, everyone should feel a part of everything.
You guys have Travis Hamanick, who's from Métis heritage. What do you think it means to people in the crowd to even see some representation on your team tonight?
Great. I think they have a special bond, and they're cheering for him. Not only, I think there's been plenty of players that have played in the league and play in the league that they look up to. I think it's no different than when you have someone from your hometown that plays in the league and you follow them. You have a small, tight-knit community, and one guy makes it or one girl makes it to the Olympics, and everyone is cheering for that person. I think, they can relate, and he can relate coming from that background, but it's great, and it pushes the next child to try and be Travis Hamanick, or, again, if a girl, if it's hockey or whatever, basketball. It's saying, hey, this person from my small town or this person from my background made it. I can too. And it gives you hope.
Is the father's trip a little hard maybe for him? Like his
Yeah, his father, and we talked about his father passed away, when he was younger. And that's a lot of guys. And it's a tough upbringing when you're a young kid and your father passes away and you don't have that, in your life. I believe his brother's coming on the trip. But yeah, it's never the same. Doesn't matter. I'm 45 years old. You could lie to yourself. It's never the same when you lose a parent. And times like this make you reflect, but on the good times, all you can think about is all the good times you've had in your life. Death is inevitable, and it's an unfortunate situation, especially for young kids. But Hammer's been through a lot, and for him to be where he's at in the NHL and striving, and a great father to his kids. You've seen him out here with the Christmas skate the other day. He has 2 kids out there skating with him every day. He's doing everything he can to do his part, and I know, I'm sure he'll be thinking of his dad when the puck drops.